Fung-Wong, also known as Uwan in the Philippines, continues to strengthen here today on the 6th of November, 2025. I'm meteorologist Robert Spetta. I always do my best to inform, update with no hype here, just relaying what we know right now based on this forecast, what we could be expecting. Now, at least at this time, this could be intensifying to a super typhoon in the Philippine Sea before coming on shore as we look ahead into Sunday night through Monday morning with winds potentially, as you can see here, up and sustained at 170, 180 kilometers per hour along the East Coast. Heavy rainfall, flood threats across the Cagayan Valley, also over towards the West Coast, across Region 1, places like Pangasinan, all the way out here through Opera. And yes, Manila could even be looking at some rain wrapping around the western side of this storm system. All the meanwhile, we still have Kalmaegi, also known as Tino, continuing to wrap back up, actually a newly defined eye circulating in the center of that storm as it nears Vietnam. And I'll also talk about that here in a minute, but I do want to talk about this one first. Of course, Uwan here as it moves off towards the west. And right now, we are actually seeing rain bands start to kick up across parts of Guam. They do have high surf and heavy rainfall warnings there across parts of the Mariana Islands. I don't see any tropical storm warnings or anything like that. It's just far enough offshore towards the west, but there could still be some of these feeder bands kind of impacting southern areas of the Marianas. So Guam and Rota, not so much. Saipan a little bit further towards the north. And then you take a look at once again at our track here as this does come on shore by Sunday night into Monday morning. So if you have any preps to make, Sunday midday is the day to get it done if you're out here in northern Luzon. One of the biggest issues, though, is really going to be that rainfall, too. I mean, of course, you know, these come on shore in the Sierra Madre Mountains. That's this mountain range here along the East Coast. Does often kind of weaken these storms a little bit, but it also just squeezes out that moisture like a sponge. And when that happens, it can really drop a tremendous amount of rainfall with it, where we could be seeing easy 500 millimeters plus in some of the higher elevations. Now, that's a problem for the East Coast here, but the problem is once it even goes over the mountains just even a little bit, all of that runs downhill, and then it goes into like the Maga River, the Cagayan River. It causes the rivers to swell, and that, in the end, results in flooding. So it's something to just really watch out for. And on top of that, of course, damaging winds along the coast, even the northern coast. You can see those winds wrap around in places like Apari. And then on the west coast, as we go ahead through Monday, up and down San Fernando, as well as going to be even towards Subic. Those winds are going to wrap around just like that. So don't. I know we often, a lot of people like to look at the center line at a storm. And for example, I'll show you the Google DeepMind here. It shows that center line. It comes on shore there north of Casigoran, kind of passes right over Kauaian, and then heads off towards the north and west, kind of passing just over Opera. There's the Opera River right there. And here's the thing. Yeah, okay, the center line is the core of the storm, especially where it comes on shore. You have that inner eye wall. But as we've seen with just our last storm, Kalmaegi Tino here, Cebu wasn't hit by that center line. It actually passed off of northern Cebu, but the rainfall wrapped around, and that caused a lot of the issues. Not to mention, a lot of people pay attention to center and the shifting tracks right now, but you can see the different agencies kind of picking up on this, and even the DeepMind, you can kind of see here, look at the ensembles spread across this area. This is going to shift north or south. There definitely is going to be a shift between the agencies, JMA, Bagasa, JTWC. So I can't stress enough, don't focus absolutely on the center line. You'll get yourself in trouble doing that. I would dare say, by the way, this is already a typhoon. It is wrapping up quickly, and we're starting to go into that rapid intensification stage of it. Why is it going to go west? Well, you can see a little bit of trough right here. That dipped down, but the subtropical ridge is just too strong. So this is not going to penetrate that. So as our storm system starts heading north, it's going to butt into that subtropical ridge and basically go due west. And unless maybe you see this area out here, if that becomes a deep low, it might dip down and pull it. But I think that's not going to happen until after this crosses Luzon, and you can see that turn towards north, towards Taiwan. Best case scenario, you see a couple of the ensembles here with the DeepMind. See these two little guys? See that one there and that one there? That would absolutely be best case scenario, but we don't look at the outliers when we look at these type of models. We look at the consensus, and the consensus shows that landfall there in Isabella across central or northern areas of Luzon. So once again, I can't stress enough, don't fall into that trap that the center line is not impacting me, I'm going to be okay. That's when you'll get yourself in trouble here. Also, rapid intensification with this. It seems like every super typhoon we get, it explodes really quickly. You've seen the statistics there. That's happened a lot. So just keep that in mind too. This is going to spin up quickly. And if it does spin up quickly, it can peak out at that super typhoon intensity. Areas in red indicating here across Luzon, that is 300 millimeters plus. So a lot of heavy rainfall with this. So yeah, the good news, it is staying north of Visayas. So the death toll from Tino is approaching 100, and we're seeing this near Vietnam, Tino that is. So, you know, this next storm, Uwan, is going to stay a little bit further towards the north. Final forecast is not set, but at least does not look at all like it's going to be impacting places like Cebu and out here in Visayas. So meanwhile, Kalmaegi, though, is approaching central areas of Vietnam. That is still a rather potent storm system. Going to be coming on shore. Look at that. Winds 175 kilometers per hour, according to the Japan Meteorological Agency. Definitely wrapped up, and it's a lot tighter than what we've seen 24 hours ago after the friction after it encountered a lot of friction, I should say, over the Philippines. Let's actually, there we go. This is the one I'm looking for. And you see here in the infrared, yeah, it's a little bit tighter now. Got a defined eye in there, but I think areas just right along the coast, this is going to be a flood maker. I mean, outside of the damage wind, storm surge is going to be an issue too, but a flood maker because the ground's already saturated. They've been dealing with heavy rainfall recently, and then you get, well, let's actually take a look at the next few days of rainfall. Let's put this out 3 days, zoom right in, and yeah, look at that, 300 millimeters, according to the ECMWF and GFS also concurring with that. So, yeah, and I think this could even be higher in some of the higher elevations areas here. You get a little bit of orographic lifting, kind of like what we've seen in Cebu, and it could be seeing some serious flooding. So that storm, Tino Kalmaegi, is not over yet at all. This is still going to be packing a punch as it nears landfall here in Vietnam. So still an ongoing and very serious situation out there for our friends into Vietnam as that does make that landfall here through Thursday evening and then heading overnight into Friday morning. But like I mentioned, the rain, really the big issue, just right in there, just a whole swath of that precip. All right, friends, it's a lot to digest, a lot to take in here with this video. It's a long one. These longer updates, just because I got 2 storms to talk about, but in the long range outlooks, and this is still long range. Don't get me wrong. We're still 5 days out, so we still got a long range forecast on this. It can change, but I tried my best to give you the latest information that I'm looking at. Not just you, not just to... I could easily come on here and give a... I probably should, because I'll get probably bigger views. Is come on here and give you a 30-second video. I see this all the time. People give you a 30-second video and they show... Look at the Windy app, which is not a thing that drives me nuts. If you see somebody say the Windy app, Windy's a platform. You can change the models on there between ECM, WF, GFS, Icon. Then you have different guidances. Then you have satellite pictures, radar here. There's a lot of things you can do with Windy. It's not a model. It's different stuff. Anyways, I could easily just show this and go, whoa, there's a storm coming, a super typhoon, with no added information and just freak you all out. This might freak you out because I've been giving you all this information, but I try to give analysis behind it. And if you watch 10 minutes of me talking, I'm sure you are informed, you are educated, and you are making a smart decision about what you're going to do ahead of this storm. If you are that person, do me a favor. Tell your friends around you what's up. Okay, be that educated, smart person in your friend group. When your friends say, well, it's not going to be that bad, tell them, no, this is going to be a super typhoon and it will be impacting this area here. I know because I did my research. I watched some guy talk for 10 minutes about what we could be expecting with this storm system. And if you do that, you help at least one person. You never know what that could mean. So truly, truly, truly do what you can do to help out here. And central northern Luzon needs to be getting ready for this storm system. As always, I'm meteorologist Robert Spedit. If you have any questions, though, I try my best to answer them all. But number one thing, of course, friends, stay safe out there, okay?